So now I will hand it over to Jason Barnett very shortly. We'll be doing a feedback exercise. As I'm talking, there's going to be a link dropped in the chat of this mural board that we'll be using. Mural board is basically a virtual whiteboard space. We're going to use it to guide a focused conversation on power data and services. It's an opportunity for you all to engage in conversation, share your experiences, brainstorm new ideas, and gather community input. This will be an open space led by a moderator. In here, you can play around by zooming into areas of interest. You can scroll around the space, and we'll all be using sticky notes to type your comments and responses to the prompt questions that we'll be viewing today. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to Jason. Jason, go ahead.
All right, thank you, Madison. So, good morning, everyone, or good afternoon, depending on where you are across the globe. Thank you again for joining us for our user feedback session. And you should be getting a link to this chat. And I encourage you to click on it, open it up in your web browser. Since we have a short period of time, this session is time boxed. First, I want to give you a quick overview of what we're going to do. As many of you know, and have hopefully seen in today's GloCo, Global Community Summit, the Power Project is a user-driven project. We really look for user requirements, data parameters, new capabilities, and that really drives the work plan for the project moving forward. And this is one of our ways in which we can capture your feedback. As you can see in our mural board, as you open it up, there are 3 different columns that we're going to work through briefly. But first, I want to draw your attention to the bottom of each column. There are green sticky notes and yellow sticky notes. Green sticky notes can be areas for things that you like or things that you think are a benefit to you. Yellow sticky notes are enhancements, roadblocks, challenges, or even if you have an idea. If you're not sure which color sticky note to put down, it's okay. Just grab one and work through what is written on the sticky note. You can also like the sticky notes to increase if you want to thumbs up it, if you find that it's something that is of interest to you as well. We have left the sticky notes from yesterday's feedback session in this mural board, so you can see some of the feedback from previous users, but we encourage you all to continue adding sticky notes to them. So to start, we're going to go to the current capabilities and use column. And I want to read through each of the questions, and then I'm going to go ahead and allow us about maybe 3 minutes to go ahead and fill out the different areas. So the first question is, why did you choose to use power? Is it from particular data parameters? Is it because of its free cost, globally gridded, services that you like? We'd encourage you to please put a sticky note on why you're choosing to use power. Question number 2 is, how is the power data used in your current workflows? We heard several folks from our lightning talks talking about how it's integrated in your workflows, but this is again another opportunity for those that are just using power, may not have given a lightning talk. Please put sticky notes here if you want to call out specific data parameters, formats, or any analytical capabilities that you use currently. And then lastly, the third question we're going to work on is, what are some of the main roadblocks to using power within your community? So these might be challenges, things that you found that are just making it more difficult to use it in kind of your discipline area. So please take a sticky note, write that in. We're going to just allow you all to go through this column, these first 3 questions, for the next 3 minutes, and then we can revisit them briefly, and then we'll be moving on to the second column as well. So go ahead and grab some sticky notes and start adding them to questions 1, 2, and 3. Okay, great. It looks like we're getting some thumbs up on some of these sticky notes. Seem to be consistent between both feedback sessions. Just want to spend a minute looking through some of the items that we have and why you're choosing power. Got several thumbs up on customers immediately trusting calculations. We mentioned that the data was developed from a NASA tool. So we're looking at an authoritative data source. Appreciate that. And then we also have the free available global on-demand global data. It's got the next three. And that the data is consistent as well across the globe. And again, if you think of something later in this session, please come back, add a sticky note, copy and paste from the bottom. You can drag from the bottom and create a new sticky note if there's something else that you see here. Again, these are just suggestions from other users. Question number 2, we see how it's being currently used in your workflows. We know that the API is heavily used, as well as folks using some of the analytical capabilities with the DAV. If anyone who's in the feedback session is currently using some of the AWS tools, I'd encourage you to jot that down. If there's anything about the AWS pieces that are of interest to you, we can do that in the next column as well. And then lastly, roadblock wise, we have folks requesting different things between parameter namings conventions. Again, we do work to try to make sure that our APIs are backwards compatible with all of our minor fixes. So we're definitely going to be checking in to see, on that particular sticky note to make sure that we're staying consistent, or that you know if you're using it between different minor versions. Okay, for the purposes of time, we're going to go ahead and move to the second column. Go ahead and zoom out here. So this is the fun column where we really get to encourage you to vision cast. We want to encourage you to brainstorm, to really think about what are these future enhancements. This is the wish list section, which you can add things. I would love to see Power do this. Would it be possible if I'm using this type of software, and it'd be really nice to have Power as a one-stop shop button? This is the areas in which you can add those different ideas here. Again, Power is user-driven for the requirements. This is a great space for you to provide that information. So question number 4 is looking at your future needs in terms of what other data. For example, we heard about the river discharge data. I tried to add that as a sticky note in here. Other capabilities, even thinking at analytic capabilities, if there's something in our DAV or data access viewer, you're like, I wish I could be able to do this and this between 2 different data sets, or it'd be really neat if I could do whatever within the data access viewer, write that down. There's a new data parameter you're interested in, or a particular format. Power does try to make the data available again as APIs, GeoTIFFs, NetCDFs, ASCII, but if there's specific formats that are kind of industry accepted formats for software using, please let us know. We'd like to check those out. Question number 5 is going to be around what tools or technologies do you foresee integrating with? As you know, Power works closely with different software providers, for example, RedScreen, try to make sure that their software works, that our API works within their software. Additionally, Power puts out data products in the ICAS format, so it can more easily ingest it into the DSAT, Global Agricultural Modeling Software. And so if there are particular languages, SDKs, software that you work with day in and day out, please put those there as well. We're also very interested to know if a Python package would be of interest to our users. So if you are programming in Python, we were able to allow a Power Python package. Would that be of use to you? If so, please drop that down either in the yellow on either question 4 or question 5. So again, we're going to go ahead and take a few minutes and allow you to brainstorm and vision cast on questions 4 and 5. question that came up yesterday that I did want to mention was folks asking around machine learning as well. As we know, a lot of analysis is moving towards doing either machine learning or even doing cloud analytics. If you're doing anything with machine learning, you would like to have some increased capabilities for some power data that would make your machine learning capabilities even more fluid, I'd encourage you to grab one of the yellow sticky notes at the bottom and write a little bit about that for question number 4. I want to note too, one of the things that we had come up yesterday, question number 4, was looking at maybe data parameters that may not just necessarily be meteorological or solar. Maybe they are value added parameters that could be service enabled, may help you improve some of your analysis. That's the earth science of data. So if there are other parameters that you're like, it would be really nice if I could look at power data alongside maybe some other type of data, please put that in there as well. So we're going to just zoom in real quick on question number 4. We got some additional thumbs up talking about the 15-minute TMY data. We also had some questions around some of the solar irradiance, and again, publishing more demos for various data services. Hopefully you're aware of how it does try to not just provide the data out, so make it available in multiple service platforms, continually try to help make the how you can integrate it more easily understandable and digestible. We go down to question number 5, and this is where yesterday we had some folks that are doing a lot with R, very interested in having capability integration R. And then again, where we are asking folks if they have Python just for use to them. Okay, thank you all for doing the desired feature enhancements. We're going to move on to our 3rd column here in just a minute. But before we do, again, this mural board is, so please feel free to go back either the 1st or 2nd column and add a sticky note to it if you think of something. Again, even outside of this, we encourage you to always send us an email. Our inbox is active. And if there's a new request, we'd love to set up a time to talk to you. Even if you're just using our data and you want to chat, question about enhancement, or just want to know something about the science behind it, we'd love to talk with our users. So let's go ahead and move over to the impact column. So as previously stated in Dr. Stackhouse's presentation, NASA Earth Science is really moving to this Earth action model where we're taking Earth science and moving it to action. It's kind of the last mile which the data is being used to really inform policy or have some type of impact, where decisions are being made. We love to hear about those stories. Those stories help us continue justifying the impact the power project has across the globe and the community when talking leadership. And we also enjoy telling those stories so folks can hear about all the great work that each of you all are doing across the globe as well. So I'm going to go ahead and give you 3 minutes in just a second to walk through both questions 6 and 7. Question 6 is looking at, have you been able to use power data to inform any policy or decision? So what is the impact? Several stories of folks installing solar panels on a university building, which has saved X amount of energy dollars. Have you been able to convince them or leadership on making a new decision and do some maybe some renewable energy technologies? So want to use power data. Put those here. 6. Question number 7 is if you have any value-added tools that use the power data or services, I encourage you to place them here. We heard several really neat tools in some of our lightning talks, but we want to know more. So if you're creating a mobile application, a web mapping application, a website, anything along those lines, we were really interested to have you place those value-added tools here to know that it's being used and that we might be able to help make improvements so it can be more seamlessly integrated with your application. So let's go ahead and take 3 minutes to go through questions 6 and 7. So please feel free to grab a sticky note from the bottom and add them to questions 6 and 7. And for those who might be joining us as you're just popping into the mural board, as a reminder, we have green and yellow stickies at the bottom of each column. Please feel free to grab one, drag it up underneath the question, and write in your feedback. We've used 2 different colors, green for things that you like, things that you think are really cool and helpful, yellow maybe for ideas, challenge areas, suggestions, etc. So please grab a yellow or green sticky from the bottom, pull it up, or you can copy and paste using your Control-C, Control-Z on your keyboard. We have about 1 minute remaining for questions 6 and 7 under our community impact section, but feel free to add sticky notes anywhere on this board if you want to go back because you have a new idea. Okay. Well, thank you all for going through and thumbing up several of our liking each of our different sticky notes that other users have provided in the past, and users in this meeting has been able to provide as well. Again, what we have is our current capabilities and use column, the desires, future enhancements, and our community impact. If for some reason you're unable to add a sticky note, create a color, or provide your input on this mural board, we'd again encourage you to email us at the Power inbox or add it to a chat, and we're happy to grab it and add it for you or respond back to you. Again, our email inbox is actively monitored, and we'll be able to respond back about your enhancement, or maybe there's a roadblock or how you're currently using Power. Again, we love to showcase our Power user stories and the impact that they're making in their communities. So if you have a wonderful story, which I'm sure each and every one of you do, again, please contact us at the Power inbox so we could set up a call with you and write up maybe an impact story of how NASA Power data is really helping you in your day-to-day mission. With that in mind, we're going to go ahead and close out our user feedback session. We really appreciate each and every one of you joining us on our second annual 2023 Global Community Summit for the NASA Power Project. So thank you all for joining us. We look forward to having you join us next year. Be on the lookout for a feedback survey that'll be coming out. Small questionnaire that way we can find out how we can improve the Global Community Summit in the future, as well as allowing you to stay up to date on all the videos that'll be posted and all the conference materials on the conference website. So again, thank you all for joining us today on our 2023 second annual Power Global Community Summit, and have a wonderful rest of your morning, afternoon, or evening.